You're watching 7 Rivers Sports here on KQEG. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, fitness, introduce you to some key celebrities throughout the greater La Crosse area. We do have celebrities here in the form of 2 student athletes from Luther High School. Ben Riley, Emery Byus. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Pretty nice to get out of school today. I'm sure all the students at Luther High School are like, just because you're a football star doesn't mean you can get out of school. But you were anxious, Ben, to be on the show, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you wanted to get out of class for a while.
Exactly. Who doesn't want to?
Well, right. And Emery, you said before we went on the air that you're missing 2 of your favorite classes.
I am, yep. But I know it's kind of worth it, so not really missing them.
So a senior in high school now. A Luther High School exceptional student athlete. Talk about, you're a multi-sport athlete, Emery, and a lot of students struggle with the balance of being academically gifted and work hard and being an athlete too. Is that difficult?
I guess sometimes it is, yeah, definitely during some points of the school year. During, I'd say second semester is a little tougher for me just with basketball. We're in the bulk of that and stuff, but really just kind of using time management and using your study hours, and it really can help and gets me through it. So.
And of course, for you, Ben, you're a 3-sport athlete, and I know your family real well. And they were exceptional student athletes too, Luther High School and so on. Is that, you're trying to balance everything, and you're trying to be a good student, and you're trying to be involved in leadership groups, and you're trying to be a role model. How challenging is that? Because a lot of young people struggle with that.
Basically, I'm just trying to be myself. People seem to like what I give off, so it definitely does take some extra effort, you know. But you gotta be able to put yourself out there, so you know, like the student council and everything, that helps a lot. And people come to me for advice, so I feel like it's also been sort of like, it's always how I've been. It's sort of my personality to just sort of be like the leader.
So you carry yourself that way.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of people throughout the world, in a variety of ages, demographics, and so on, are not comfortable with who they are. They always want something else, and that's kind of a sad statement. Emery, are you comfortable with yourself?
I am. I'm very comfortable with myself. I think I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, and I kind of just play towards my strengths and kind of just see how everyone reacts and go from there.
You know, there's high expectations to being a Luther High School student athlete. The mission statement, providing a Christian environment, goal of providing spiritual growth, Christian leadership. A lot of people struggle with that, Ben. Christian environment, living up to the mission and the vision statement. How do you do that?
Well, being in God's Word every day does help. It gives us that daily reminder that, hey, we're doing this for Jesus. So then, basically, by controlling myself and how I act, I can try to control and encourage people in the right way through, you know, the use of, like, on the football field, have a cool head, keep your head in the game, and then just giving the best advice I can.
It's not a perfect world we live in, Emery, and providing an example, a Christian environment, spiritual growth. We're all on a journey. In the heat of the action sometimes, things enter in, and a lot of people struggle with that. Give us an example of how you demonstrate what the mission statement of Luther is all about.
I was kind of setting myself an example on the field, out in practices, like not grumbling or complaining if the practice schedule comes out and we see it's something to do. Or if I hear language in the hallway, just kind of correcting those guys and like, okay, hey, let's calm that down a little bit and just kind of getting them back on the right track.
And you know, being a leader, being a senior, high expectations. You're on a platform. I mean, some people don't know that. They don't accept it. They don't want it. But you're on a platform. I mean, there's a lot of young people watching this show here this week, and someday they want to be a successful student athlete. So developing a culture and being an example and being a role model and so on, how difficult is that? And what advice would you give, Emery, to young people that someday want to aspire to be like you?
I think what they got to do is just kind of put their head down and kind of work, and just put the work in early so that when you do get to senior year, people do look at you and go, okay, this guy has put the time in, put the work in. He's not just another senior, but he is a leader and an athlete in school and in the classroom.
You're speaking to a bunch of students at one of the schools, the Lutheran schools in the area, And the question is, how can I be Ben Riley someday? You're speaking to a full gym of students, young kids. What would you say to them?
Well, first of all, schoolwork was first back in grade school. So I said, don't slack on your homework. That's easy enough to go home and do the worksheets. But then coming from like an athletic view, I had to push myself because I'm the oldest boy. So I had to set the expectations. And so basically just putting in the extra work, and it'll all pay off. Trust me, it will. But just, stay in the studies, stay on the grind, in the weight room, and then just be able to listen to people and give advice best you can. Just be able to listen and don't take anything for granted.
The journey to become a successful student athlete and now a senior, not too far from graduation, begins at an early age. You have dreams, you have aspirations. What were your dreams, Ben, when you were young, and who inspired you to be what you are today?
When I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted to do. In my opinion, I started everything too late. I fell in love with the sport of football too late, and sports in general. It wasn't actually until high school I found out what I liked doing. But then, doing some research, I was looking for cases and guys in my shoes where you seemed to be too small for your sport, but they made it anyway. So Tariq Cohen was a running back out of college, and they said, you're 5'8", you're 175 pounds, what are you going to do? And then he got drafted to the NFL. So right now he's who I'm going with because I'm small, I don't have much on me, but I'm just trying to use what I got and get to the next level.
Size has really very little oftentimes to do with anything. I think of successful athletes, even at UWL, we cover their games and do the Mike Schmidt show. There's a lot of quality players that are making a contribution that are smaller than you. So size is really never, is it entered into your confidence level?
Oh, for sure. Just my dad always made fun of me, like the genetics are against you, so it's just stay in the back of my head. But then I've also seen development through myself, and then like I have a brother that's younger than me, but he's taller and weighs more, so then he's already bigger than I am. I'm thinking, why can't I be like that because of what I want to do? But at the same time, I got to remember that's what God gave me, so I got to use what I got.
And you have done that. And so, in Emery, too, I've watched you play right now, 2 TDs, 160 yards. You've done well. You're a key part, both of you key parts of the Luther team. And you had dreams when you were young, and all of us do. And think back, if you can, down memory lane, some of your dreams and who inspired you, and are you fulfilling those dreams?
I think I am somewhat, to an extent. I mean, obviously, when I was dreaming, I don't think that as of right now, I don't think there's a way that I could fully fulfill my dreams. But I am definitely to a point where I always wanted to be an Ohio State quarterback. That was always my dream when I used to watch Ohio State football games, and it just always kind of pushed me to always be one of those guys and work hard and be in the weight room and classroom and just always kind of be that leader out on the field.
So you don't live in any sort of temple of regret, like I wish I would have done this. Now, again, you're approaching your end of your senior year?
Oh, I don't think I live in a temple, but I definitely think there's sometimes I think, okay, maybe I should have done a couple of things here and there different, and maybe the outcome would have been a little different, but...
Well, Ben, again, you've rushed for 175 yards, so I've watched. We had your game against Cash in the game you won back in August. Both of you played extremely well, and that's why you won the ball game. Think back to training camp, Ben. Think back to August. Think back to the beginning of the season. If you accomplish your goals,
I think we've accomplished them in a way that we weren't expecting. We came out knowing we don't have as many guys as we want, and we were thinking, let's just make a name for ourselves. And I think that even though our record may not reflect it, we've definitely given people the impression that Luther's on the rise. It's definitely hard having 2 of us because we're going to go against a school pretty soon that's going to have literally 10 times as many seniors playing against us. But me and Emery have decided that this is a year for us to help the guys below us and help the rebuilding that it's sort of something we've set as a goal for ourselves without even knowing it, just to benefit this team in the long run.
How have you done that, Emery? Ben says that's your kind of mission statement, your personal mission statement.
Yeah, so we kind of talked before the season. We said, hey, I mean, expectations are there, but we might not be able to fulfill them just because of numbers. So we said, why don't we get other guys in positions out on the field, and instead of belittling them and kind of being like those big, mean seniors, we're going to be encouraging and kind of go, okay, guys, got to do this, this, and this. And so it's just getting those guys ready and just getting them experience is probably the most key part right now.
Well, as being leaders, though, not everybody lives up to the expectations that you set for your teammates. Some people fail. Others are underachievers. And you see your role as to build those people up that are underachieving or struggling. How do you do that?
I mean, I definitely think it's difficult at times, but it's always constant reminders and constant encouragement just out on the field and whenever we can in the hallways. If they're lacking in the classroom, they're getting in trouble, just not paying attention or goofing off. Just kind of give them a little stern reminder like, hey, knock it off. We got to be, you know what we're doing here. We got an ultimate goal. So it's just stay focused on what we're doing.
It's a culture. It's a culture that starts in the locker room and starts with players. Coaches can kind of set the table, but players need to take that statement, that culture, and take it to another level. Have you done that, Ben?
I think I have. I mean, luckily for us, we're on the field with them so much because we have to play so much. So we see their point of view, but the coaches are also using us as their mouthpiece as to, hey, we want you to do this for the guys. We want you to tell them this. So I think because we have the trust from our coaches and the trust from our teammates, we're able to relay what our coaches and teammates want very, very effectively, and it has worked.
Something tells me that it has worked. I don't doubt that one bit. And we're going to explore that a little bit more and learn and get to know you a little bit more deeper when we come back. We'll be back right after these messages.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again today, the spotlight on Luther Night Football with Ben Riley and Emery Byus. Well, Emery, a 3-sport athlete, we talked about that, all conference in basketball, member of the Green Knights, a leader. Talk about your leadership in the Green Knights.
Green Knights is an organization throughout the school that we just kind of take care of recycling bins and make sure everyone's putting separating trash and recyclables, and we go around, and since I'm a senior, I'm one of the leaders that kind of coordinates who gets what bin, where what bin goes, and kind of things. And so it's been going well so far.
An eco guy.
Yep.
So good. And Ben, you're involved in leadership too, and so young people that are adults looking, what's special about Luther? Should I send my son or daughter to Luther High School? What would you say to them?
I'd say, of course, you should. I mean, we're all so close-knit with each other because of how small we are, and at the same time, you're getting that Christ-based education, and you're so one-on-one with your teachers and your friends, and everything just goes so smoothly. And for sports, you get to play a lot because we'll take whatever we can get.
Exactly. So you're comfortable in your classroom and so on. Your coach, Matt Schiebel, said this about you, Ben. He's been your academic advisor.
Yeah.
And he's coached you in track, and you give everything, you leave everything out on the court or on the field or in the classroom. You don't leave anything in the tank. You look in the mirror after you finish your in your area, and you feel comfortable that you gave everything. What's your thought on that quote?
I mean, that's what you have to be able to do that. There's no use going into a sporting event and not giving everything you have, because if you lose, you have to sit there and say, if I would have given everything I have, we might have won. So regardless of the outcome, if I give everything I have, I give everything to my team, everything to myself, and everything to my coaches, and say, like, I did everything I got. If we won, we won. If we lost, we lost. Now we just got to get ready for the next one.
And Emery, Matt Schiebel said this about you. You're a special young athlete. Smooth, good things happen when the ball is in your hands. And you have used your gift that you've been given to the best of your ability. High praise for Emery Byus.
I mean, I appreciate that quote from him, and I do think he does trust me out on the field, which I appreciate and everything, and I think he trusts Ben too, and I just do try to give it my all, and I try to give him everything I can because I am only in one sport with him, and I do enjoy him as a coach, and I do really just try to give everything and leave it all out there and let the rest happen, I guess.
If I asked your teammates to describe Emery Byus, what would they say?
I think they'd say hardworking. I think they'd say encouraging. I think they'd say a leader. And I think they'd say just a good guy to be around, a good guy to play sports with.
Boy, you must know your teammates, huh?
Yeah.
You trust them with that statement.
I do.
You really know his teammates.
Ben, would they have that much praise for you, or would they just give you a little bit and give most of it to Emery?
They probably would give most of it to Emery. I mean, I'm the more vocal of the two of us just because football's my thing right now. And so if I can do anything to help the outcome of what's going to happen, I'm going to tell the guys. So they'll probably say I'm a little more harsh on them, but at the same time, I think they understand that this is my last shot and that I'm all in for this. And so I think they can relate to how, he's pushing us, but it's only because he wants the best for us.
When I look at your schedule ahead, GET, Viroqua, Westby, Arcadia, what's your thought? You have one win, your senior season, favorite of those, toughest of those, multiple questions here, but how do you want to end your season? How do you want to end your career?
I want to end it showing everybody that I gave everything I had, because at this point, that's what I can do. Everything, like, the numbers don't lie, but we're still going to get out there every week, and we're going to give our best shot, because you never know what could happen in a game. Someone could go down, something could happen, and so we just live for those moments. And right now, we're just getting out there. I'm going to leave my mark on this team. I'm going to leave my mark in the area, and just, like I said, just show everybody that I gave what I got despite the circumstances.
Impressive. Now, there's a teachable moment right there for all of our viewers throughout the world. From you, and equally from Emery, because of what your coach said and the fact that the scoreboard doesn't necessarily tell you or tell the community what you've done, does it, Emery? What are we going to see from you the rest of the way?
I think we have four tough games coming up. I think they're 4 good teams, and I think we just got to go out. We got to do what we can do. And we got to run, we got to execute, and we got to let the rest take care of itself. And I want to leave my mark. I want to leave my mark on the team because I've been here for 4 years. I played football for him for 4 years, and I played with Ben. And I think I just want to leave the guys under us with a good what's the word?
Structure.
Good structure, yeah. Good structure under them and get them on their way for next year.
Yeah, and I'm sure. What's something people may not know about Emery Byus?
Someone may not know about me.
You're multi-talented.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You have an interesting middle name.
Oh, yeah, my middle name, yeah. My middle name is Luther, and that's the name of the high school I attend.
So when you were born, your mom and dad thought he's going to be a Luther outstanding student athlete, role model, and a gifted young man, so let's name him Luther.
I guess so.
So is the next stop Luther College in Decorah, Iowa?
Wow. I don't know.
Or a Lutheran minister? How's that? Where are you going to be in 10 years?
I don't know. I hope to have degrees from some 4-year college, hopefully in communications, and go from
there's
there.
thousands of colleges, by the way, throughout the country.
I have no
so
clue.
just kind of put your finger on the map and find one?
Well, I guess so.
Well, how come, I know a lot of Luther students end up at Martin Luther.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've always thought about maybe going into the ministry or being a pastor or teacher, but as of right now, it's not really my key priority, so.
Well, you're an evangelist the way it is right now among your peers, aren't you?
Yeah.
So where are we going to find Ben Riley? College, career, 10 years from now, what are you going to do?
Ultimately, my goal after high school is to play sports somewhere. So someone that shows interest will definitely be thought of. That's what I want to do, because I want to go into like the stereotypical like business major, so I can build off of that. And so that's the goal. But if not, UWL is my forerunner right now, and then 10 years from now, I just want to be able to sit back and look at what I've done. Be like, I've got my job right now. I'm secure.
Finance or
business finance is what I like. I like numbers. I like money numbers, not necessarily all math. I like the money numbers, but
I like money numbers too, but it never was part of the equation. So I don't know. It just didn't work out that way. But I had my own level of success, I think. What's the best spiritual advice? Spiritual guidance advice you've ever been given, Ben?
Well, the best I've gotten is strictly from the Word of God. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. It gives me something to dig into and think about. That like, I may not know what I want to do 10 years from now, but it's already planned out. So I just have to let God take control of the wheel and guide me there.
Spirituality, a deep substance. That's what you guys are all about. That's what Luther's all about. Faith lessons that you have learned, and if I was going to ask you any particular scripture, what would you reference, Emery?
I'm just going to kind of tandem off Ben with that passage, just that he knows, like he is in control, and like we don't have to worry about what's going on in our lives, and we just have to always look back to him and kind of just let him handle what's going on and pray about it and ask him for guidance on what to do, and just really let him control what he can control.
People are watching the show today. They're watching you perform on the field. What's the takeaway when they see Emery Byus on this show? What do you want them to think and about you when you compete and when you're on the show?
I want people to think when they see me playing, like, he wants to be out there, he wants to compete, he's a kid that tries, and he's a kid that goes. And I want them to see that no matter what the circumstances, I'm never going to hang my head. I'm never going to let a situation get down on me, but I'm always going to keep going.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, your name comes up. Ben Riley, he was a former student athlete at Luther. What do you want them to say?
I want them to say, I remember watching him give it all he had in the classroom and on the field, because that's what my goal was. I wanted to leave my mark on my high school because I had grandparents come through, I had parents come through, and so it was already sort of a staple for the Rileys to come through, so I just want to make sure that this Riley was different than the rest of them.
Wow. You know, we always aspire to get quality young people on our show, and we've been very fortunate. I would, sort of to editorialize a minute, I would say we have had, this is a special show, we have two young men that have raised the bar, in my view, of young athletes that young people should aspire to be. You guys have done a great job, and I am just delighted to be able to meet you, interview you, and wish you the best for your senior year and throughout the rest of your life. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you
for the opportunity. It was a pleasure.
All right, we'll be back with some closing thoughts and some clips from recent games right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Great interview today. Spotlight on Luther High School football. Carl and I were at Empire Stadium for an MVC matchup, the Logan Rangers at the Holmen Vikings. Logan desperately needing a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Sophomore quarterback Rylan Wall showed off his passing ability in the first quarter, finding Jared Sheard open on a 25-yard pass to open the Vikings scoring. Still in the first quarter, Kevin Cable caught a 13-yard pass from Wall, 13-0 Holmen after one. Logan got on the board in the second quarter on a 5-yard run by quarterback Kelvin Maven. Holmen's defense then took over, stopping the Rangers and scoring a third TD by workhorse Brett Holden on a 1-yard run. Holmen 20, Logan 6 at intermission. The teams traded TDs in the third. Damon Butler, a 28-yard pass from Malik Brown, and a 28-yard reception by Tate Grass in the third quarter, 27-13 after 3. Holden and Cable put the game away in the fourth, a 1-yard run and an 18-yard run for Holmen. Kelvin Maven scored the final TD of the night as the Rangers lost their fourth game in a row. The Rangers host Aquinas on Friday in their homecoming game, and we'll be there to bring you the action. Holmen is 5-0 in the MVC. Final score, Holmen 41, Logan 20. Rick and Art were at Roger Herring Field on the campus of UWL for another MVC game, Onalaska at Central. The teams traded TDs in the first half. For Central, Johnny Davis on a 23-yard run, and DeAndre Davis a spectacular 74-yard kickoff return. Onalaska countered with a touchdown on a 42-yard run by quarterback Austin Larson and a 4-yard run, tied at half, 14-all. The level of offense ramped up in the second half with 38 points on the board. Austin Larson got things going in the third on a 1-yard run, and Katie Manglitz a field goal of 23 yards. Onalaska 24, Central 14 after 3. That set up a dramatic fourth quarter as Central would rally to score 3 touchdowns after an Onalaska TD. Larson to wide receiver Ray Heileman from 27 yards out. Central then went to work. Jamar Davis, a 27-yard pass from Johnny Davis, and a Stephen Cross 1-yard run. Then down by 17 points in the final seconds, Johnny Davis would find his twin brother Jordan Davis from 32 yards out, a spectacular 35-31 comeback win for Central. Central moves to 5-2 and 3-2 in the MVC. The first conference loss for Onalaska as they take their 5-2 record to West Salem, also on Friday night. Well, that's it this week on Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have an active and a healthy week.